Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to Play and Talk. I'm with Shadowhawk, and I'm Nerdranok. It's been a
Hello.
hot minute, huh? It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, I've just been so busy with a lot of life stuff though, between trying to get work situated. Also have a house coming up as well, all kinds of stuff that I've just been so busy. I've just been leaving a lot of things in the wayside.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. So, and there's been a lot ever since we last talked.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, since Shadowhawk got a new Xbox Series X. But unfortunately, he was not able to download Apex Legends in time. But we're still gonna hang out all the same, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I always just try to have fun with it where I can though, and it's always good being on these, whenever I can.
Yep.
Music's
Alright.
amazing to get yourself pumped
There's
up.
a lot, both
Especially
good and
after-
bad, so let's get the bad out of the way. What is up with Warner Brothers Discovery, canceling things left and right. Like, most of all, Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
It was mostly complete, just needs some post-production stuff. And if I would have heard right, they're doing like a bit of a funeral watch for the movie.
Introducing your champion.
Oh, can you repeat that? That last
Funeral
bit.
watch, like a funeral watch. It's sort of like where.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. And for me though, like usually when it comes to cancellations, I usually just operate on it because that it was not, it's not finished, and all that was ever there was just with maybe a little bit of footage. So I usually don't think on it much. But this was an instance of a film that was pretty, as I was seeing from everyone saying, it was pretty much done. It just only needed some touch-ups in post-production, but overall it was pretty much done to watch then.
Yeah,
and so to see it be,
it's like maybe counts as just. It sucks, but what I'm really worried, what I'm worried the most about it is, well, what this new CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery plans to do with CNN.
I mean, yeah, because unfortunately, as a lot of people, and maybe even the people watching are aware, that Zaslav was very much a very big Trump supporter. He was also the main guy who really just ran a whole bunch of reality shows.
Like
for
Honey
TLC
Boo
and
Boo.
such.
Like Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah. So because of that, the guy operates on a very big penny pinching, no nonsense, basically just cost-cutting measures kind of guy, being a very big penny pincher. And because of that, because of Warner Brothers having a lot of debt. Thank you, AT&T, for burdening them with your.
Oh my God! Yeah, I've heard. Like,
them.
what's the debt again? How much do they have in debt? Like AT&T before they sold off.
As I understood, because AT&T wanted to offload their debt basically onto a company, which for a lot of big companies is actually a very common occurrence, where they will offload their debt onto another company so they can declare bankruptcy and be like, okay, your debt is basically cleared. It happens a lot in these, unfortunately. So then when Discovery brought them up, who to my knowledge, Zaslav runs both Discovery and Warner Brothers, he decided though to be able to try to cut that, he would just be going, oh hey, so Batgirl, I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to be pulling a whole shit ton of stuff off of HBO Max.
Yeah, which is like, oh, that's just like, it could be like if anything's like being taken off of YouTube too, just like, holy
and
shit.
Even worse, the tax credits that he's seeking to grab have the strong stipulation that these cannot be released in what is considered in monetizable format. So not on streaming, not to be put on DVD, not to be even put up on YouTube, none of that stuff. It has to be where they cannot monetize it, which means they cannot release it, or they would rather.
Rather what? You kind of like caught it for a sec.
Or that, basically, that from what they're doing, it's basically making it where you cannot release it, because these tax credits are about where you cannot release the thing that you are getting a tax credit for in any monetizable format, which means they would rather not release it at all.
Release the tax cuts! Hashtag.
So, because of that, it's creating all these various issues, and them trying to be like, oh, we have these plans for DC and whatnot.
10 years, yeah, 10 years. And they even found their own kind of fire you. What was the guy's name? I need to look it up.
I think it's like Lynn something, I think. But even still, I'm like, I don't exactly know who you're trying for this.
Yeah, Dan Lin.
When everyone just witnessed that you alienated many of your own creators.
Yeah, so they found someone named Dan Lin, who's going to be taking over for a film TV for superhero part. So that's according to a Hollywood Reporter.
And again, it's like for the thing about it though, and especially trying to have his model when understanding that Feige is a super unique individual that very few people could be able to mimic his talents on, and also from that whole business model of going, again, I'm just like, I think that's a really bad move to be trying to do, but you know what, I'm not in their shoes to really see, and unless for Dan Lin, I'll just have to see how he does about it.
And here,
but even still,
and there's also Ezra Miller. They've been in a lot of stuff. Just oh my god, like assaulting people in like Vermont and Hawaii. And how the hell did they get over from one location to another? Since they've been on the run from the law before, from what I can tell recently, and Oklahoma, like abducting a child, grooming a child.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Yeah, like.
My ultimate is ready.
Sorry, I'm just.
They'll never see it
like
coming.
Abducting a child, grooming, and also it's like really fucked up stuff.
Of course, and that's what I mean with it, is that it certainly is a very interesting case, because usually whenever there's controversy involving either the main star or a star of a big movie that is coming out, usually it's only for stuff they did once, and it was usually years ago that happened in this case. But these are things.
Yeah, like Ezra Miller, like punching people, like burglary. Holy shit!
And it makes me just think, like, and I think this is the first instance that I will be able to think of where a movie that they will then eventually go and promote is gonna be a movie that they cannot have its main star doing promotion for, because everybody and their mother is probably gonna be like, I don't want to interview this guy.
Yeah, they and they said that they're gonna clean themselves up, but here's the thing. They said the same thing last month. It was just announced, and they said the same fucking thing last month.
I know that too, but also it's even the case where it doesn't really matter, because he was already announced that he's not going to be Flash going forward.
Yeah, they go by they. They go by they.
By they, yeah. Because, and the main thing that especially is what sucks though, is that the movie, based on people who have actually seen it in test screenings, have said that the film is actually really good, great even, on it. And I'm just like, wow, that has to be a very bad position to be in.
Yeah.
Because it's likely going to be, because pretty much their whole DCEU project is basically going to be carried by this one movie. And it's going to be its jumpstart, basically.
Yeah.
The reset button.
And the other movies like Shazam and Aquaman are going to be delayed to next year.
Which I think for Shazam was the right move to do so, because in the window it was opening against, it was going to be going head-to-head with Avatar, and that was definitely not a battle it was
and the new Black Panther movie.
That as well. So I think Shazam moving it was actually the best decision.
Yeah,
and Zaslav should have been decided.
And Aquaman too, I take it.
Wild. Agreed.
Yeah, also that as well. It was just a better decision all around to not have those, because between Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and having Shazam, the Avatar sequel being there, and they would have absolutely taken up all the IMAX, Dolby Cinema, whatever other screenings.
Okay, now I can see your point. Yeah, it's just how the they even
also keep in mind that
they even screwed this up even more than Sony. This is Sony Pictures.
I know. It's honestly still, because again, I think from all of this is because Zaslav is basically trying to scramble for every tax credit he can get, but unfortunately not realizing that he will probably lose way more in the amount of creators who are going to be like, no, fuck no, I don't want to work with you. Why would I work with you when I have the very real risk that you'll pull my project if you so much as think that you'll get tax credits out of it?
Like the creator of, I think it was Shazam, James Wan. No, that's Aquaman. He's going to be working on like a series with Disney on of all things King Kong,
which is why it's like, for me, like that whole thing of, you know, it's for Warner Brothers. I'm really not sure what state they're going to be in, because even other industry professionals in this are showing outrage about it. Like, usually if it's people who are just on Twitter showing outrage, I go, you know, whatever, outrage is their whole shtick. But when even industry professionals are going, no, this is super fucked up, though, either by movie industry standards, then that's where I know that things have gone down.
Yeah. As a line in the Doctor Strange movie would say, things have gotten out of hand. And
Basically.
Got some materials.
And that's why, for me, I think with all that stuff, it's like I'm very surprised that of all people it was Warner Brothers, because HBO Max had actually become one of the better told streaming services. And
and they're just like, they're blowing it. They are blowing.
My only guess is that they will eventually be trying to do some sort of merging of Discovery's streaming service with Warner Brothers, and then do some sort of HBO mashup. But honestly, I think it's just going to really just end up being a very disastrous kind of thing to go for.
Yeah, oh my, yeah. I just feel so bad for the people involved. Like, it's not the most, probably not the most important thing. Like we said, like cancellations happen all the time.
A target landed so close.
And I'm really worried what he plans on doing with the CNN. Like planning like being like cancel some parts of CNN and like making like presenting in a very neutral, and I put that in quotes, fashion from what I gather. Just
I mean, yeah, because the guy is on record as being Trump, so therefore I'm not surprised. It wouldn't even surprise me if he mainly wanted this whole deal, though, because he was going to get CNN anyways.
Yeah.
I'm down. We've got cover.
Sorry, I got down in Apex, so I've heard decent things about the Game of Thrones prequel House of the Dragon, but it came with a very graphic scene. Fair warning, we're going to spoiler territory and some heavy shit. So strap in, folks. A gruesome C-section scene. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Some people are not very comfortable with it, and although women came up, the women crew.
You're breaking up again. I can barely hear you.
The crew members came up with the idea for the show. So still, but I heard some complaints that it's just like the gratuitous of like gore and sexual violence, that sort of thing. So I really cannot say more because we're both guys. We're not capable of bearing children. And
I mean, it's just that for that whole thing of, I could, at least from the statements I saw them give, I could kind of get where they were going with it, but honestly, I just feel as if, like, with the reason they gave, again, I just think it's that whole thing of, like, well, considering your whole thing is fake and not intended to be realistic, it's not really meant to be some sort of, you know, really not the thing that you should really be having with it, because I get it because of people talking about
allegories, like allegories with dragons being the nuclear bomb, the White Walkers, like global warming, I think, but it comes with tact and skill. And do you remember how Game of Thrones ended? Like, a lot of people were pissed off.
I don't really know, because I heard people saying it was bad, but never saying why it was.
From what I've heard, there are plenty of reasons, such as like the scene being shorter, and that's more rushed the plot lines and stuff, and quite a bit of interest. I haven't really watched the show, so really cannot say, unfortunately.
So haven't not seen it. I only watched half of season 1, not because it wasn't good or anything, but it's just the episode was so freaking long. So, like, to get through it was going to take quite a long time. I just didn't feel that it was a time that I was going to really enjoy.
Alright, so...
Or at least not find it worth it.
So, he wants to... So, David Zaslav, apologies for the name, that he wants to be focused on journalism, and make it less polarizing, but again, given his track record, I find it hard to believe. I'm gonna like leave the match. Anyway,
yeah, for me, him saying that already has me very concerned for what he has in store for what is one of the biggest newscasting organizations that we have in the U.S. And so it makes me just go, what exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah.
And as mentioned, it just would be probably just end up going in disaster for everyone.
It's gonna end in disaster. Right. Sorry, it's just like his same kind of rhymes with disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just sad news all around for Warner Brothers. Let's move on. So there's a lot going on at like Comic-Con, and semi-related. Have you seen the trailer for Black Adam?
I have, though, and honestly, I still really enjoyed it. I honestly think that The Rock was still very much
although
someone I want to be able to see in it, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, he kind of insisted on like on Shazam and Black Adam being separate movies for build up, if memory serves me right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just like totally fair. Some people may think of it as egotistical, but don't think so. In this case, you know,
I mean, I don't really find him to be being that, though. I just find him as just being someone who's just passionate about doing this project, though, because he's wanted to do it for a long time.
Oh my god, since like what, 2007, 2009?
Yeah, he's wanted to do it for a long time.
Holy shit. Oh yeah, so not much out of Comic-Con for DC, but a whole lot for Marvel and Star Wars. Let's get into that. So, whew!
Sure.
Let's start with the biggest one. Yes, Marvel has a fucking plan for Phase 4 and beyond. Multiverse Saga. And the director of...
I was surprised it was already the ending of Phase 4 already, because I thought to myself, like, wait, I thought you were still going, though, with it.
Yeah, I really did enjoy quite a lot about Phase 4. And, oh, have you seen Thor: Love and Thunder? I really love a lot of the shots in that movie, like with,
I did see it, though, I saw it with my girlfriend about, like, a few days after it came out, and it was really enjoyable to have. We both really liked it. My only real complaint was that I was just sad that, okay, spoiler warning for it, but that, unfortunately, seeing Jane die,
I cried,
but not
I
really.
cried, I cried at that, I fucking cried. I really do like the shot, and I really do like the shot of Eternity when Thor catches up with Gore. That shot is just absolute beauty.
And man, Christian Bale was really great as Gore, though, as well. I was really glad for that.
Yeah, the way they acts at times reminds me of the most memorable parts of American Psycho. Does he give you that vibe? Like, like the like his sneering attitude with towards the kids. Yeah, it's just good.
So that's why for me, I just I found that one to be really good, though, and I was just really hoping for more from there.
Oh my god, I'm getting a shit ton of notifications on my phone. Anyway, well, kind of stuff happens, and anyway, okay, back on track. I really did like Russell Crowe as Zeus. I take off your disguise and flick. You flick too hard, damn it! Naked Thor. Just like everybody that sees him like naked, just like passes out. Yeah, I see some people complaining about its reliance on comedy, but this is Taiki Waititi we're talking about. Are they surprised?
What do you mean surprised on?
His irrelevant irrelevant approach to comedy and stuff. Like, have you seen the shot of the Thanos themed ice cream shop? When I saw that, I was like, oh my god! I was like, oh. Although when my brother and I got to watch it, we had to take the front row seat, like the literal front row seat, so the angle was just kind of awkward. Like, pretty awkward there.
I'm not good
But
until
still.
we're good.
Talk about irrelevant. Like, being
Introducing your champion.
is that the right term? I think so.
I survived being
Yeah,
swallowed by
really
the
enjoyed
dark
Doctor
heart.
Strange, and have you seen the like the second Doctor Strange movie? I just love me some multiverse stuff, so take it from me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I just said though, like Floyd, I wasn't really a fan of what was there. Like, again, I could understand how he was trying to
We should
incorporate
land
the
there.
horror
Looks like
aspects,
fun.
but it just didn't really do it for me because I felt like the horror aspects that were there
Look, see
felt
someone out
very
there.
forced for the narrative. It just felt like he just had her shifting
Yeah,
between
to
Carrie
be-
and the Grudge.
To be
And it
to
was-
be fair, the Scarlet Witch had that ring grudge thing since her appearance in Age of Ultron.
Well, you
Together.
But the
Do you
thing is,
remember? Do you remember the? I
never
think
acted
it was
that.
the undercrank just like.
I just never liked that she has that very inhuman, very walking kind of style that they would do with the whole bloody mess thing. And even still,
I was like, I really enjoy that. Kind of wish that there would be more multiverse stuff, but that's just me.
It's just that for me, I just didn't really like that aspect of it, especially when it came to the universe hopping, though.
I really love the universe hopping like of Strange and America, just like, whoop 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 whoop. That's
It was
just like
really
that,
fun. I give it that. Yeah,
that's
it
just
was fun seeing that.
that's like dope.
It was just rather for me, my main problem
Gets
came
close
when
to the
they
ring and
actually
it
met
collapses
the
on us in
Illuminati
45.
inside of the, when they actually met them there and thinking, oh, okay, well, this
yeah.
will be interesting because of what they were going with it, and then it just ends up having all of them killed, which felt
Yeah,
to
to
me
be
just a
fair,
very, well, then, why
Scarlet
did
Witch
you
is
do that?
fucking powerful. It's like Scarlet Witch is like
Again,
she
my
needed to
issue
kill
is
Thanos.
so
She needed to
much-
kill Thanos. She needed to kill Thanos on her own.
Which for me, as I mentioned though, it's not that the strength she had that was the problem, but more so it just had this problem where it's like, okay, you're showing to me why it is that she is at least willing to kill somebody, because of the whole like she wants to have kids thing though. I got that, but for me it still was an explanation for why she took glee in killing people and really
Darko
was just
corrupted
someone
her.
who acted.
Darko corrupted.
Which
open
But
door
the thing
here.
is, the narrative for me, when I was even watching, was very inconsistent as to whether these were just things she wanted to do or if it was corruption. And frankly, if it was supposed to be a mixture of both, which one was more dominant in it. And even still, seeing them go down that easily for it, when these are the same guys who were able to still also defeat Thanos and didn't have to require doing time travel to win on it, it just felt as if it was...
And they got really cocky. Except for Professor Xavier.
It wasn't even cockiness because it was like, why would they think otherwise though? Because even when it came to the Darkhold, which they knew she was using, and they were very confident in having actually seen its abilities, why really wouldn't they?
They're just very dismissive because they, you know, in their world, Scarlet Warner is not very powerful. Anyway,
even still, with Captain Marvel's case, she was able to fight Thanos better than he could. So it's that thing of really, so why is it that one couldn't take over the other? And it just felt like the whole fight between them really just felt like it fell flat to me because it was kind of you're trying to make this a horror villain, but she's going up against other people who are also...
my most favorite part from the movie, my favorite part is Doctor Strange's duel with this Thanos. Just like, I really love how, like, you know how what the part is in D&D, right? With music, that is like a very good visualization of how a bard channels their magic through the power of music. That's like one of my favorite parts out of that movie. And I think it kind of like inspired me to, I think it kind of like the movie gave me some inspiration for my D&D campaign down the line. I got some ideas from it, and stuff. So I really cannot say without spoiling what I have in mind. So apologies on that. So if you're so interested, if you say that's also partially why, because you know I want to keep you I want to surprise you with what I have in mind. Along with, you know, like In Space with Markiplier, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I haven't seen the movie, but you know what I mean. Woo! Let's go down.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I had to disagree on that. Ooh.
All right.
Bueno.
Sure. Thanks for keeping me in the game.
Right, gonna like revive these people. Have I mentioned that the director of Shang-Chi is going to direct the fifth Avengers movie, The Kang Dynasty? Have I mentioned that?
Which one?
Kang Dynasty. The fifth Avengers movie is going to be directed by the director of Shang-Chi.
Interesting.
Yeah. No idea who's going to be the director of the sixth Avengers movie. Yeah.
Well, that's why for me, it's just that whole thing of really wondering even what they're going to be doing from this point onward, because even with the projects they are announced, I'm kind of wondering where they're going to be going with it, because it kind of just feels like they're not really entirely sure what it is they want to go in direction-wise. Like, there's going to be an Avengers movie, yes, but not really even any tales on what
maybe
exactly.
Or maybe they kept their cards close to their chest. If you get my drift. So
I get it. So I'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. So out of what's announced at Comic-Con, we got Secret Invasion with Sam Jackson, and Ben Mendelsohn, as Nick Fury and Talos respectively, gonna be on Disney Plus. We got like the third Ant-Man movie, Quantumania, which will fully feature Kang the Conqueror. Nice.
I am very surprised that they chose Ant-Man of all movies to actually introduce him in a more official way, basically.
I think Quantumania is going to be the first movie of Phase 5.
About what?
Quantumania Phase 5.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Quantumania Phase 5. Is it connection on your end? My connection seems to be kind of fine.
Like, I can barely hear you. Like, you're sort of breaking up.
Quantumania Phase 5. My apologies.
Yeah, I got that part, but I was just surprised that of all movies they decided to go with a Ant-Man movie to go and debut him, though, of all movies.
Well, we have to see how it goes. So we got like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Oh, and Black Panther. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So here's a bit of a theme. Like his actor, T'Challa, has died of unknown reasons. T'Challa. His actor.
T'Challa,
yeah, T'Challa.
Because of course Chadwick passing away, so that it seemed that they didn't want to do the recasting thing. I agree with a lot of people that I'm really concerned about how they're going to go with the Black Panther character moving forward, because his own family said that even by his own dying wishes that they actually were hoping it would have been recasted, because they didn't want this character to basically have to be removed, all because of a very uncontrollable real-life tragedy, basically.
Although at the end of the trailer, we did see someone in the Black Panther suit,
It looks like a woman, though, so that's what, for me, I'm wondering who it is.
Yeah, and what was the Namro, he's looking pretty solid.
Who's looking solid?
Okay, Black Panther. Blank Panther, not Black. Doit. I like when it's like top hat TV toast like Doit. Alright, so Namor. Sorry, Namor,
Yeah.
one of the first
I know
Marvel.
One of the very first Marvel heroes who ever debuted.
Yeah, in the comics. Yeah, like all the way back in the 30s. Back in the 30s.
First blood.
Why did Journey to the
And he like decided to like just get into a fight with the original Human Torch. So crazy.
Got some materials.
Right?
Thanks.
Yeah, of course, obviously.
Yeah, it's a beautiful and a pretty heart-wrenching
I
Really?
do wonder why it is that the antagonists are going to be Namor and Atlantis, though. Well, because I'm not really versed in what conflicts various groups have had in Marvel. I just found that to be a very interesting choice that it was Wakanda of all things that they had.
Hooked us up with some material.
Well, maybe the movie will explain.
Yeah, that's why I just said though, like it's not a criticism; it's just more like a very surprising thing, basically.
Yeah. And out of like
Charge to safety.
and also out of Marvel's Comic-Con presentation, we also got, and I shit you not, 18 episodes of the new Daredevil series coming up, Born Again. That's the name of the series that will be on Disney Plus. Born Again. 18 episodes with the same cast from the Netflix series. Holy shit!
You're welcome.
18 episodes. Hopefully, they won't be as long as the Netflix counterpart because.
My ultimate's ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me on this. So the latest season of Stranger Things are about like an hour or more for each episode, and the last 2 episodes are about like 2 hours long each.
Which again, for me, is just like a very how the hell is it that you can be able to meet that is kind of to have 2 hours for any kind of streaming show where at that point it's just full-fledged movies for those.
Yeah.
I wonder how you do that.
I just because they can, I guess I don't know. I kind of like skipped out on. I almost felt very tempted to skip down because of the length. It's just like, really? I've heard of. It's ridiculous, with Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League being 4 fucking hours long.
It's kind of why, for me, like, I'm thinking at some point I'll watch it just because out of curiosity, but even then, I just don't really know if I'd be up for doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like again, a 4-hour cut, though, of a movie that bombed, and also because he basically had to lie about how finished it was.
Oh, yeah, and he, like, threatened people. He fucking threatened people. Like, I'm gonna, like, ruin your life on the internet. Like, what are you, 5?
Like, seriously, on that whole thing, which is why, for me, it was clearly, even from the get-go, the better decision of it. It is very funny seeing how exactly his whole thing with DC ended up, because, ironically, when I see, like, people online trying to say what the sequel trilogy did to Star Wars, I'm like, no, if it honestly looked like how you said, it would have been looking more like how Zack Snyder did with DC, basically. Pretty much all failures in every respect except one movie, and the movie he was involved with that was a success, Wonder Woman, was the one he had the least involvement with. So it's kind of that whole thing of where it's like, yeah, seeing that whole thing go down, because it's what happens when you have the main guy who's writing it also admit, yeah, I don't even like.
Yeah, he does. Warner Brothers chose the wrong person to shape their cinematic universe. They chose the wrong person. I'm sorry, but he's not the right person for a main cinematic universe, presenting the main Trinity, presenting
the fact that the ending of his original story was going to be basically where the whole thing reboots itself, honestly, is pretty telling.
Like, what is even the point of that? Like, where's...
My guess, if I were to say my pet theory on that, it would be that he probably went, look, like, you guys, I know you guys have your stuff where you want to go and play around with these things or whatever, so I'll do my story, then I'll just basically have it where a reboot occurs, so that way you guys can be able to then do whatever you want on it. But that's me being charitable, and who the hell even knows why he thought that was a good idea. Though, then again, this is the same guy who decided, hey, you know what, I should have Batman cuck Superman, so who the fuck knows?
or have Batman be raped or have his idea of Batman being raped in prison. Fucking really?
So for me, it's kind of like I don't really know. The guy just seems to have a very out there imagination I don't even really know. That's more a very out there imagination.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I gotta get off though, just because I'm trying to...
Yeah. Oh, and to also wrap up, I've seen like a little bit of preview of like the of Marvel Zombies, and I've seen like zombie-fied versions of like Captain Marvel, Ghost, Abomination was like, oh fuck. Yeah, they got the heroes got the work cut out for them, and the heroes include like Sanchi, Death Dealer, Red Guardian, the second Black Widow, Miss Marvel, of all, surprisingly, much by surprise. Yeah, they got the work cut out for them. I'll say. Also, and one more important thing that I want to tell is the announcement for Wizards of the Coast for the playtest for the next iteration of Dungeons and Dragons, codenamed 1D&D. So I'll list some of the more important things, such as like the movement of ability score movements from race to backgrounds. When I first showed this, some of my players have an issue with it for one reason or another. But they're willing to like try it out, thankfully. Yeah.
Reinforcing with the Phoenix kit.
Yeah. So what do you think of like this is all stems from like Tasha's code of everything of allowing you to customize your character's origin, like moving the ability scores from dexterity of an elf to something else like intelligence, or moving intelligence for a gnome to say constitution, that sort of thing, and that includes like languages, proficiency, like other proficiencies such as like skills and tools and stuff. Yeah, so this also stems.
So you're able to switch it up then.
Yep.
If I'm getting it right.
And in the Mordecai presents monsters though of the multiverse, all race, you will assign your ability score regardless of your character's race. Either a +2 to 1 ability score and +1 to one other, or +1 to 3 ability scores of your choice.
Oh,
and
yeah, the ring is over
just to let you know, every race still has the unique features, such as the like elves trance, basically meditating during the rest, and being resistant to charm magic, and dragonborns, well, dragon breath, a dwarves resilience to poison, etc., etc. So yeah, so each race still has their own quirks. Just so I would point that out to anyone who still has complaints about how race works now.
Ring shrinks in
Interesting.
Although I really do, for the most part, I really do like how the playtest is presented. But there are some things that like made my head tilt, or something that made me like very hesitant. But that's gonna be we're gonna be here quite a bit. So like how inspiration works. Inspiration is basically just like you get yourself a free reroll. That's 1 point at a time. And how critical hits, successes, misses, and failures work. But I'm planning on doing a monthly series of one-shots for each playtest that comes out for 1D&D. That's the code name because they want to put like Xbox One, like from Microsoft, that sort of thing. They're hoping to make it backwards compatible with the rest of 5th edition, so it's going to be more akin to like how 3.5 is to 3rd edition back about 20 years ago.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Honestly, I really do kind of like wish that you'd be back to playing D&D on Saturdays, but I know that you're busy on Saturdays, but just like one of those days.
Like, as I said, though, like, if I ever had the chance, I would try to. It's just that I would be working when you actually do them.
Yeah, so... And anyway, back to the packet, there's some, like, always room for improvements, like, some, like, parts of feats, like, just made me, like, took my head, like, crafter. You get more tool proficiencies in, like, artisan tools, and you get to, and you have a discount on, mundane stuff. Non-magical equipment, and you have reduced time on crafting. That you can you can spend less time crafting stuff. But the discount on buying non-magical stuff just made me raise my eyebrows. Like, really? Does that really fit the idea of someone who can craft stuff up the wazoo? Yeah.
Alright, well, as I said, I have to get going because
Reinforcing my
my
Evo
voice, though, still has some laryngitis, so I'm trying to make sure I lower how much I... It means where your laryngitis is just, it affects your vocal cords, where it makes it where your voice can become more raspy. So my voice is mostly back, but I'm trying to at least talk as least as I can, so that way I can try to.
Yeah, I'm really worried. How long have you had that? How long have
I've
you
only had it since yesterday, so it seems like it should be gone in a few days, but I just gotta make sure I'm careful with how much I speak.
Yeah, I'm a little worried.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm all good. It's just I'm just trying to be cautious with it.
Yeah. Okay. Although, before you get out, this is kind of important for my Dungeons and Dragons setting. So, do you remember the one of the mantras from the last campaign, Steel Elysium? You know, with the
I do not know, unfortunately.
It's been a long time. So, Steel Elysium has involved like a bit of a murder mystery, which connects to an establishment which allows Warforged to transfer the souls to organic bodies, but there's a bit of a twist that the mastermind is the mind of the machine and has nefarious plans, and it follows a bit of a moral dilemma whether or not to destroy the machine and prevent these Warforged shells from being used for nefarious purposes by someone, or would you basically preserve the machine, so to give a Warforged willing to pursue organic bodies, but you have to convince it to find more ethical ways to produce these bodies if they're just using corpses and stuff. What was your some of your characters comrades are willing to destroy others, preserve it for one way or another. Like the gnome wizard wants a certain group to study the machine, see what exactly it is and stuff. This is going by memory, so I'll see if I can clarify in a message on Facebook or Discord.
Yeah.
So you remember your character, right? Human fighter, a battlemaster?
Yes, I remember.
So, would you like to, basically preserve the machine, or have it destroyed? The Orc, Paladin, Aurak, wants it destroyed. Although she hasn't appeared in the last campaign, but retroactively she did. It's a reboot. The Osmar monk wants to convince it to find more ethical ways to make bodies for Warforged. So, what would you like your character to do?
I don't know, because it's been so long since I touched that story, so I don't know exactly where I can go forward from there.
Yeah, what would you like your character? It's a bit of a moral dilemma. Yeah, so...
What are the options I would have to
basically it amounts to two choices: whether or not to spare the machine and try to convince it to find more ethical ways to produce organic bodies for Warforged, willing to transfer the souls over to these bodies, but it risks the chance of these Warforged shells to be in the hands of someone like, say, the Lord of Blades. Or would you just have the machine destroyed, which prevents these more shells being made, but it would deprive Warforged of a means to have their souls transferred to willingly to these organic bodies to have the experiences of the flesh.
I think I would just destroy the machine for the reasons.
It's gonna be it's like 2-2. I'm not kidding. It's 2-2. Oh boy. There's gotta be a tiebreaker there somewhere, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So it's been fun talking. It's been fun talking to you. It's really good to see you again, man.
Yeah, it's really good for you as well. As I said, I'm hoping that we can try to get these back to some kind of regularity again after I can just get it all situated.
Yeah, with more guests, hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll be rating the Dark-Faced Gamer. He is, playing Dead by Daylight. He's a good man, good guy. funny. I actually played with him hang out with him a couple times online, of course, and played with him like on a variety of games such as Phasmophobia and Dead by Daylight and Fall Guys. So we'll be giving him a raid. So here comes the cavalry. Yep.
All right, guys. It was great seeing you, though, and definitely I'll talk to you next time.
Hopefully next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Probably. Anyway, see you later.
See you later.